All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Monday afternoon. And hey, there's actually a bunch of us still with us here for a Monday afternoon of all days. Great to see all of our students and members alike. We had Andrea just before. Buongiorno, buonasera to him, perhaps. Great to see him. Great to see Chuck, Michael, Mark, Kathleen, have Jeff, Leda, Ravina, and all of us just joining us right on now. Perfect. Inside our live trading room or otherwise on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Hey, a couple of little housekeeping notes to begin. So, actually, as good of a reason as any to follow us, especially on YouTube at Cyber Trading U or on all over other social media streams and platforms. Been a long day of talking, but with that in mind, a little housekeeping note to start. Again, we mentioned this from earlier today, actually, just in the audio, myself and Fausto. Tomorrow, for all of our students, Kathleen, John, Ravina, all of our students here, what do we got going on tomorrow? Each and every Tuesday, we got typically something happening, right? Especially just inside our live trading room, traders talk live and simulcast on YouTube. So feel free to join us there at Cyber Trading U. But hey, if you are a gold student and above, gold student, platinum student, diamond student of CTU, all you got to do is be a part of Traders Talk come tomorrow morning, and we're going to look to do a small giveaway, giving away two one-on-one coaching packs just to kick off the new year. Actually, right now, just this NKTX. There's a lot to cover here to begin this meeting. This NKTX, I mean, hey, this could be as good of a time as any to take profit. Or, if anything, what I'm going to look to do is just move my stop up, if I may. This has been a great call out. A few of our students, like Michael and Chuck and Andrea, were following this just a moment ago, at least. And perhaps in Traders Talk tomorrow, I'll have a better chance to break down a stock like this from A to Z, the X's and O's at least of it. I just moved my stop up. I didn't take profit just yet. Hey, at least for now, NKTX easily enough. Going to put this on our watch list to begin. And again, if you are a gold student and above of CTU joining us, we have probably like 80% of our members inside our live trading room are gold students and above. So for Ray, Mark, Bill, Ravina, Leda, Grant, Jeff, Andrea, Chuck, and all of our students there, hey, just join us tomorrow morning, Traders Talk, giving away 2 free coaching packs. Now, NKTX, either way, going to put this on our watch list here for the afternoon. We do have a pretty big resistance ahead at $10. Let's take a look at that here. I mean, I could just show you the TradeStation matrix, mind you, but I like showing the Nasdaq Bookviewer, especially right here. It shows the number of orders that are out there, at least via the Nasdaq, right there. So, there's probably even more on top, but at $10, you have at least 30 total sell orders, making up, for now, 5,000 shares. There's going to be more volume that gets filled there over time. On level 4, I see as many as like 25,000 shares. So, it just goes to show where your resistance is. And for now, at least, I moved my stop up. So I hope that this breaks higher. It wouldn't shock me if it pops this and then comes right back down, even takes me out, but I'd be happy either way. Anthony says, what is the difference between a gold student and a diamond student of CTU? That I could just have your education advisor just send you a private chat, or they could email you either way, Anthony. They'll just talk to you about like all the course memberships and whatnot. But, hey, NKTX, either way, we're going to add this to our watch list here. Now, I'll tell you, I be honest with you here, I thought I was going to get stopped out on this trade earlier, break even, or like maybe 5-cent profit since I moved my stop up a bit thereafter. But I thought I was going to hang on to Mara and get stopped out on that one. I've stayed in that one, and I did get stopped out on Mara here. Mara has been a great trade today, really from the morning. It was actually a great short at first. Easy to say. Captain Hindsight comment, just looking at this chart, we were calling it out as a short at first. This was a great trade from bottom to top, from top to bottom, then back to top, actually. So, as well as that NKTX, perhaps we will cover the Mara trade at least come tomorrow in our workshop. Again, you got to be inside our live trading room to participate for that coaching pack and be a gold student and above, which, Anthony, you are a gold student, so you're good to go there. But it's just to say there, hey, we'll do that across the board, simulcast that on YouTube. But Mara here up over 8% with the ETF looming. What's going to happen here into the close? Well, we don't have the fortune. We don't have the crystal ball. We're not future tellers, rather, I should say. So, hey, if so, I would have stayed in this trade. But, hey, for right now, I'll add this back to our watch list here. Mara, the CLSK is going to go with it, not really moving as sharply as we've seen it. Riot, I could maybe add to our watch list too. I was in and out of Coinbase earlier today. I know Fausto's been in and out of this as well for a little while now, and with the ETF looming, then obviously this is going to make a big pop too. It's only up 3% though, and it's more expensive. So, I'm not going to like really feature that one and really as well. I'll add Mara though to our main list. All right, so let's see what else we got here though from top to bottom, going across the gainers and losers list. I'm watching the NKTX on my level 4 screen here, so if it shakes down and I get stopped out, you'll actually see that right there. But we got a lot of buyouts actually. We got to fish through here. This AM's a buyout. You can just tell looking at the 5-minute chart. Harp, another buyout. ELEV, not a buyout. Oncology company. Big pop here, at least earlier today. Ended up making a higher high just now. Brian called that out inside our live trading room. That's where I say join us there. Brian, one of our longtime members there, and he's a very skilled trader himself. He's actually had a day today too on Mara, in and out on that a couple times, I'm sure. I think there was a couple more too, Brian. You had the SPR, right? That was earlier today. That was at the morning. But this ELEV trade, a good call from him once again. All right, so NKTX, we already started our meeting off with there. It's on our watch list already. We have a really good list just between the three that we've covered. The NKTX, the ELEV, and then Mara. I mean, those three are a really strong start, I'd say. So we keep it going. Spectre, SPEC, ended up seeing this make a nice pop at first, but then it really got choppy. Easy to say that in hindsight, but look at the chart that we have here. Even when it broke out early on this morning in pre-market, it ended up failing to break higher afterwards. It ended up getting very choppy. History typically repeats itself. So even after a pop that we had here at this point, ended up fizzling out once again. And it was a really good short if you were able to get the shares. Actually, looking at this, maybe they became easy to borrow. I thought this was listed as HB on TradeStation earlier today. Maybe it was, but now maybe it's easy to borrow. But it was a pretty good short in hindsight. We didn't really call that out as much as a short, to be transparent with you. But Nexi, NEXI, a stock we are very familiar with as I switch back to my daily chart here. You could tell back from a couple days ago, or like last week, ended up making a big pop in pre-market, then pulled back shortly after the market opened up. The issue that I don't like on this stock is that it has a huge spread, very thin book. So there's not as much of a need, quote unquote, to follow this when we have the NKTX, which is just a lot more liquid, way more liquid of a trade there. So it's easier to follow level 3 and level 4, even if this shakes me out here coming up, which I'll be very happy about either way. Take the money and run. That's why you put your seatbelt on, to begin with. All right, ARDX, I feel like this one's more exhausted right now. It's at the highs, which is really where you want to see a stock this time of the day. But where I say it's more exhausted, first, trading about 20 million shares today, trades about 5.7 million on average. We've seen stocks trade a lot more compared to its average over time. So that's like not a huge to do, but definitely, a little exhausted there. But I want to show you the gap that we've been following really since it happened back in mid 2021. I remember like a trade like this, like the back of my hand. This and a stock like CEI, if that's even still listed, both of them that year had crazy gap downs off of some sort of news, and it's a great example of just you can't expect a gap to fill right away, or even off of just any news that comes out over time. It's not a guarantee it will fill continuously. So it fizzled out back in the beginning of 22, and then back in the beginning of 23, that's when it started to make its run back up. But even here, again, just like another 6-month period of where it consolidated. Then thankfully, fortunately for anyone looking for that gap fill, it's moved back up over time, and it's filled the gap at this point. It's filled that gap, I think, completely and then some. Yeah. So I was even saying it was a potential short if it was able to hold under 806, 805, and just didn't really make that drop that you wanted. Tried, but didn't give you the drop. So you can't fight that at this stage. It's actually trying to inch up really here as I'm still going on about it, but I'll come back to it at the end if I really need to. I mean, we're not at a big list. I could definitely add it if I'd like, but just intuition prevails typically. SIDU, not really too tradable, if anything. Just the order book is even more thin than what was it? The other one that we had, the Nexi trade, CYCC. This had a good day today, at least in the morning session, then ended up just kind of pulling back. All right, so I'll tell you what, SPY is doing pretty good today. There might be a couple name brand stocks or quote unquote name brand stocks that might be moving with the market here. So let me know if anything else is looking good for like Chuck or Brian, Leda, Grant, all of our students in Cyber Group, and then we'll just wrap up in just a bit. So let's hop over to the loser side though next, see if there's anything looking good from here. Anytime a stock is down like 40%, 50%, or obviously more, maybe a dead cat bounce, but this isn't really doing a whole lot. Looks like a new company too, like a new acquisition company. So hard pass on that. Data, this is actually easy to borrow from me on TradeStation. It's just a little too close to the ground floor. You know what I mean? DTC, not much happening there. Hey, I got to cross my T's, dot my I's. Even with the market moving up, I just got to go across the loser side here, see if there's any stock going against the grain, making a move on its own accord. Maybe, like we said before, down enough to where maybe a dead cat bounce, but that obviously wasn't just the case. So Boeing, hey, I mean, speaking of a potential dead cat bounce, actually, given what happened over the weekend, unfortunately, with the Alaskan Airlines plane, right? Boeing and the door that ended up blowing off. Thank God, thank goodness that, everything was actually okay. I think the biggest casualty of all that was a T-shirt from a kid. It must have been traumatizing for that kid to be a part of that. I think they had to pin him down and make sure, of course, he was safe. But I think the shirt tore off. I think he had some skin that was like a bit like irritated or red based off the wind. That's a traumatizing situation, obviously. But in terms of what happens to the stock, Boeing led to a big drop off earlier today. But hey, with the market pushing up, the only thing on this is that it's just so expensive as a day trade, right? Market's on fire right now. So with that said, hey, the Boeing, if you do the option calls on it, that might be one thing, but otherwise, I'm just going to pass on it for now. Or if you do it as a swing, that could be different. If you're looking to hold on to that over time, see that fill the gap. Actually, that's a different type of trade. But as a day trade, there's just easier efficiency to catch. All right, so I'll tell you what, there really wasn't anything else that we added to our list since. So for now, I'll actually promote ARDX to the main list. Add that now. Question from one of our students here. What is worth watching and which has the potential to move 50%? Or what is worth trading now? Might I say I misinterpreted the question. So, which has the potential to move 50%. We don't have the visibility to tell you. And first off, I just want to use this as a blanket statement to anyone here, even on YouTube, just joining us right now. It is illegal for myself and Fausto to directly tell you where to buy, where to sell. We're not licensed FAs to do that. And for any educators out there that might give those recommendations, they better be, because I know the SEC and FINRA has been cracking down over the last 5 years on this crap. And trust me, compliance is huge. So I've been told that. And, that's just the first thing for any member across the board. Now, to answer our students' question just in full, what is worth trading now that has the chance to make a big move, let's just say? Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're building out our watch list right now. So stocks like NKTX are still holding. ELEV looked good before. We're going to post our list here just a bit. And then otherwise, I mean, hey, for our student there, I know that they're a member of the Phase 1 stock course. So, just make sure that you keep going through the classes. I'm not sure where you're currently at in terms of the most recent education cycle. So, make sure that you go through the class recordings found on the student portal. The next set of Phase 1 classes, I believe, are going to be coming up the week after Martin Luther King week. So once we're back in a full week again in the market. From Ravina says only volume can confirm that. Yeah, I mean volume, and then just otherwise following the trend. That's a huge part of afternoon scanning, making sure that the stock is at least near the highs or near the lows if you're trying to long it or short it respectively. That's all. All right, so let me know if there's anything else here, folks, before we wrap up. You got me back on the stick here at 3 o'clock in just about 14, 15 minutes from now. Make sure I refresh on water. Be good to go there. CYCC, just the order book is too thin on that one, especially for the bid. SMMT. Now, this one actually not too bad. It's up 14% and it's at the highs, which is actually something that we really want to see at this time of the day. I don't know if I skipped over this or just didn't even see it. Maybe it was going up while we were going from top to bottom. Ooh, big freaking pop right now. Big pop on the NKTX. Just broke out right over 10. So for the time being, you know what? I think I'm just going to say the hell with it and just get out because even on a shake, like I think that's I'm very happy with. And now at this now at this point, we're going to try and re-enter. There we go. Let's see. Anyone else catch that pop on the NKTX? I know Chuck's been in and out of it right now. Don't want to distract any of our students that may be trying to manage their position right now. But if you are in it or just got out, give me a small chat back right now inside our live trading room. You don't need to have a scientific, calculated reason to take the money and run, aside from just being up enough where you feel just content. So that was just about $1 from where Michael and Chuck and other students were calling it out. Andrea inside our live trading room. You know, we were asking earlier just in our chat, what is everyone watching or trading right now? Hey, I asked because we try and engage in dialogue, get the chat, live, but it's otherwise because I'm on Mara. So there might be a stock that you folks are watching that I wasn't really focused on at the time, and that was the case here. Look at this thing go. So there could be more room. Hopefully, it doesn't pop too much more without me. But for now, NKTX, definitely a great trade here. Now, I got a little bit distracted there because of that pop. So that was beautiful, well timed. Let's just go through maybe some of the other crypto stocks, perhaps. SDIG, that's kind of an emerging one there. Stronghold Digital, not really too familiar with them, but I've seen them pop up more and more recently. ANY is up 13%. Not a bad trade there. This one's making a higher low, trying to make a bounce back. So I don't want to add all these crypto mining stocks if they're all going to make a relatively similar move. But that ANY has been pretty strong. It's like actually up near the most or up the most right now, percentage wise. All right. So I think that that's just going to about wrap it up here for us right now across all boards here on social media, Facebook Live, at Cyber Trading U, especially on YouTube right there. Be a friend, tell a friend, look to spread the good word. And especially tomorrow, again, we have our weekly workshop Traders Talk. That raffle for the one-on-one coaching pack does not apply to you if you're joining us just on YouTube. You got to be a student, gold student and above to apply for that. But we always say, hey, feel free to shoot me over a quick email if you have any trade or question that you'd want to go over with us live tomorrow. And that goes across the board, of course, for all of us here inside the Cyber Group room. Josh at c2trading.com. First come, first serve with any trades or questions that you'd want to go over. But again, we're going to be raffling off 2 one-on-one coaching packs tomorrow during the session. So as a gold student, platinum student, or diamond CTU student, that does apply to you. So you should be good to go there. Make sure that you are a part of Traders Talk tomorrow so you have the chance to win. All right, so with that in mind, folks, hey, I got to fill up on water. I'm going to take a small break. I'll be back on the stick here at 3:05, just about 3 o'clock, 3:05 roughly, and we'll be good to go from there. Talk to everybody soon.